Alright, today we're going to be working with order of operation, or what most of us like to call PEMDAS. Kind of shorten it. So, it's going to be PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S. And I'm going to put a line under my M and my D, and my A and my S. So this is order of operation. So your order of operation, it's really important that you remember the order that you have to solve problems. And it's the same no matter where you go in the entire world. It has to continue to have that order of operation. So let's talk about what those initials stand for. Your P stands for parentheses. Your P is for your parentheses, but it also could be for brackets or any other symbols that combine numbers together, or they group them. So we're going to put parentheses, and then we're going to put slash grouping symbols. Because again, they could use brackets or other items, but it's usually the parentheses. Now, the next one is your E, and this one stands for exponents. So E is for exponents. Your next level would be your M and your D. And I'm going to put those together, and I'm going to put that line underneath them. And the reason for that is because you could actually divide before you multiply. And you can multiply before you divide. So we've got multiply, divide. Again, you have to go from left to right. Then you also have your A and your S. Again, left to right. And that's why normally you see this one, but just don't forget that you could also do the S before the A. So that's why I add my other little arrow. You could do either one. You have to go from left to right. So the A and the S stand for add and subtract. Now again, you must go in this order. P-E-M-D is together, and your A-S is together. So let's do a couple of examples together. So the first problem that we're going to have is we have a parentheses 40 divided by 5, close the parentheses, minus 7 plus 2. 40 divided by 5, and that's inside your parentheses, minus the 7 plus the 2. Now, one thing that I do is I kind of slash through my work as I go. Helps me know where I was at the last step. So, I'm going to start off with my P, parentheses. Do I have any? I do. I have some parentheses right here, so I need to do what's inside of that. So, 40 divided by 5 is going to be 8. Then, I have to bring down everything that I have not used. Then I have to start all over at the top again. Do I have any parentheses? Well, I do have parentheses, but is there anything to do inside of those parentheses? No. So, I can go to my next level. Do I have any exponents? Do I have any multiplication or division? No. Do I have any adding or subtracting? I do. I have subtracting and I have adding. So I have to go to the one that's left to right. So I actually need to do 8 minus 7 next. So 8 minus 7 is 1. And then I have to bring down what I have not used yet. So the plus 2. The only thing I have left is 1 plus 2, and that gives me 3. Your order of operation questions or your PEMDAS questions are going to look kind of like a funnel. They're going to funnel down little by little, till you get one final answer. Let's do a couple more examples. How about this one? We have 2 times 8 minus 3 to the second power plus 2. So 2 times 8 minus 3 to the second power, or 3 squared, plus 2. Now, starting at the very top, do I have any parentheses? No. So do I have any exponents? Well, I do. I have 3 to the second power. And if you remember, 3 to the second power is like having 3 times 3. And 3 times 3 is going to give me 9. So I did this. Everything else has to come down to that next level, in front of it and behind it. Okay, so I'm starting all over again. Do I have any parentheses? No. Do I have any more exponents? No more exponents. Do I have any multiplication or division? Well, I have a multiplication problem, so I need to do that one next. So 2 times 8 is 16. And everything that I have not used in this row needs to come down. Now it's like starting all over again. Any parentheses, any exponents, any multiplication, division, any add, subtract. I have a subtraction, I have an addition, so I have to go from left to right. So 16 minus the 9 is going to give me 7. And then what I did not use comes down to that next level. And the only thing I have left to do now is 7 plus 2, and that gives me 9. Let's try another one. How about this one? We have 5 times 2 to the second power plus 32 divided by 8. So we have 5 times 2 to the second power plus 32 divided by 8. Start with your pen dots. Do you have any parentheses or any grouping symbols? Do I have any exponents? You're right. I have 2 to the second power, which basically means 2 times 2. Because remember, the little number, your little exponent, tells you how many times to write this. And so 2 times 2 is 4. Everything that I did not use up here needs to come down to that next level. So I have 5 times, and the plus 32 divided by 8. You have to start all over with your pen dots. Any parentheses, any exponents, any multiplication or division. Well, I have both. I have multiplication and I have division. So you have to go from left to right. First one I run across is my multiplication. So 4 times 5 is 20. Everything I did not use comes down to that next level. Because remember, you want it to look like a funnel. Now, starting all over again, any parentheses, any exponents, any multiplication, division. Well, I have a division, so I need to do that next. 32 divided by 8 is 4. And the thing that I did not use on that row needs to come down to that next level. I did not use the 20 or the plus. So that'll come down to the next level. So 20 plus 4 is 24. Because that is the only thing that I have left. Let's do one more example just to make sure that you have it. Here's your example this time. How we have 3 times 6 minus parentheses 9 minus 8, close parentheses, to the 3rd power. So, remember you have to start with your P for PEMDAS. Do I have any parentheses? And I do. I need to do what's inside that parentheses first. So, what is 9 minus 8? You're right, it's 1. And everything that I have not used has to come down to that next level, including the parentheses and the 3 that's on the outside, plus everything that's in front of it. Now, starting with P for PEMDAS again, any parentheses? Well, I do have parentheses, but is there anything to do inside of it? No. So, you have to go to the next thing. Exponents. Well, I have an exponent. I have an exponent of a 3. Well, what does that mean? That means that I would have to put 1 3 times, and don't forget, a little multiplication sign goes between them. So what is 1 times 1? What's 1? Times 1 is 1. So now that I've done that, bring everything else down that I've not used. Okay, starting with your parentheses again. Do I have any parentheses? Any exponents? Any multiplication, division? You're right, I have multiplication, so I have to do that next. So 3 times 6 is 18. And remember, whatever I don't use in this row has to come down. And the only thing left for me to do is to subtract. So 18 minus 1 is 17. And that's going to be my final answer. Let's try one more, just to make sure that you have it. Let's see, how about 3 times 8 minus parentheses 9 minus 7, close the parentheses, with an exponent of a 3. So let's see. First step, parentheses. Is there anything to do inside those parentheses? 9 minus 7 is 2. Bring down everything. And yes, that does include your exponent. Now, what would I do next? I still have parentheses, but is there anything to do inside that parentheses? No. So go to your next level, exponents. Well, I have an exponent of a 3, so that 3 tells me I need to write 2 3 times. And between those numbers, remember, goes multiplication sign. So what is 2 times 2? Well, it's 4. But then 4 times 2 is 8. So this is actually 8. Then you have to bring down everything that you have not used yet. Start over with your PEMDAS. Any parentheses, any exponents, any multiplication division. You have a multiplication. So 3 times 8 is going to be 24. Bring down what I have not used. Now I have 24 minus 8, which is my last step, and 24 minus 8 would be the 16. So again, I have this nice funnel coming down. All right, I think you have it. See you next time.